What is going on, my Super Sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today we're going to be discussing the Legendary Super Saiyan Broly and his losses in all the movies that happened in the Dragon Ball Z movies. Now, before I continue, of course, since the movies aren't canon, none of this is canon, but it's still kind of a fun discussion to kind of throw it there, and I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. So at any point in this video, if you have an opinion or feedback, make sure you throw it in the comment section below so we can have a Dragon Ball Z discussion like every time when we do these discussion videos. So without further ado, let's talk about the outcomes. So I'm sure everybody has seen all three Broly movies at this point. If not, you should probably check them out because they're pretty cool. But there's something that's always bothered me, and the fact is that Broly loses. Now we're not gonna count the third movie because, well, the whole Bio Broly thing is kind of stupid in my opinion. So it is what it is with that. But as far as the first two movies, they definitely should have ended the way they ended, and they just, I mean, I didn't know where to start. First things first, I did do a power level breakdown for Broly a while ago, which I will link in the description below. So if you want to check that out, go for it. Pause this video, click the link in the description, and then come back here when you're done watching that. But everybody kind of knows that Broly's power level was revealed. And again, we're going to be talking about power levels, even though they're completely bullshit. But power levels are kind of going to give us basically like that meter, that scale that shows us the difference in powers between these characters. But Broly's power level as a Legendary Super Saiyan is set to be 1.4 billion, which is pretty freaking massive. This is about way stronger than Cell was. And the first Broly movie, if we were to place it in the timeline, which the timelines never make sense, but if we were to place it in the timeline, places it right before the Cell fight, because Trunks has just came out of the time chamber, because you can see he has long hair, and Gohan is not Super Saiyan 2 yet. So that said, this is right before the Cell games were to start, if anything. And the fact that Broly's power level is so massive, it's maybe almost twice as strong as Cell's. It just doesn't make sense that he won. Now, in case you didn't see it, the way the movie ends, is essentially everybody gives Goku the power, and then Goku punches Broly, and then Broly just explodes and gets overcome by his power, which it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if you were to add up all the powers of Trunks, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, it still shouldn't be theoretically enough to make it so Goku wins with one punch. It doesn't make any freaking sense. And someone else to point out, it is said that Goku's power level as a Super Saiyan 4, using the GT universe as an example, his power level as a Super Saiyan 4 is roughly 1.4 billion. So you mean to tell me that Broly, whose power level as a Super Saiyan is equivalent to Super Saiyan 4, loses the match? That doesn't make any freaking sense. I just don't understand how that happens. But you know, for whatever, let's go ahead and give the benefit of the doubt and assume that Goku does get enough power and wins. Now, we know Broly comes back 7 years later and faces off with adult Gohan, I almost said Teen Gohan, adult Gohan, and somehow Gohan and Goten and Goku win, which again doesn't make any sense to me, because at this point when Broly comes back, he should have received a huge Zenkai boost from dying almost, and you know, obviously reviving over the 7-year period when he was frozen, and Broly should have been a lot more powerful in terms of power level. Like, his power level should have been maybe, let's say, you know, 2 billion, somewhere in that range. I mean, it's kind of hard to gauge that number, but it was pretty freaking massive. And somehow Gohan, who is weaker as an adult than he was as a Super Saiyan 2 when he, you know, fought Cell, managed to win. Now, granted, you know, he does have the power of Goten as well, and as well as Goku, who randomly just kind of shows up, which that part didn't even make sense at all. I mean, I guess you could say that, you know, the Dragon Balls were together and Shenron came and wished Goku back, but that doesn't make sense because, number one, the dragon never showed up, and number two, Goten said it in his head, causing, you know, Goku to appear. I mean, when you make a wish, you kind of have to be vocal about it. You can't just, you know, hey, Shenron, read my mind. Okay, cool, great, give me exactly that. Like, you can't just do that unless that's your actual wish. But the fact that Goten just thinks, I wish my dad was here, and then Goku shows up, that part just doesn't make sense. On top of that, even then, again, we're gonna say that, can we actually say, you know, going back comparing both these fights, can we say that, which side is stronger actually? Future Trunks, Super Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, and Goku all giving Goku his energy, or adult Gohan, Goten, and Goku blasting the Kamehameha at Broly? Which side just sounds stronger? Obviously the first one. So it's like, there's just so much that went into this fight that just didn't make any sense to me, and it just bugs me. Now again, you know, the only reason why this movie ended the way it did is because a little thing known as bad writing. That's the only thing we can really blame here. But I mean, when we look at it, I mean, I broke down Broly's power level several times, I believe twice. He shouldn't have lost. There's no way in hell that he should have lost. Now, I guess you could say that if you hit Broly's weak spot because his power in his body is so massive, it could cause his body to kind of explode. And that's what kind of happened both times. When Goku punched him in the first movie, you did see that he hit him, and then his power essentially kind of like erupted from that wound and kind of destroyed his entire body. Which on top of it, how did he come back from that? His body got completely destroyed, and on top of that, the planet blew up. He should have even came back later. Like, I just don't understand anything with this universe. Let's see. This is exactly my problem with Broly. Broly, I know, is a favorite, one of the favorite villains between all the villains to a lot of people. If you're a fan of Broly, do hashtag Team Broly in the comment section below, just so you guys can see how many people here like Broly. But for him to lose the way he did, it just bothers me, and that's the reason why I wasn't ever a big fan of Broly. Like, Broly should have, first of all, the Broly movie should have happened towards the end of the Dragon Ball Z timeline, where, you know, Goku was a Super Saiyan 3 and stuff like that. Like, that would have been a way more epic fight. Like, maybe seeing even Gogeta fight Broly, or even Vegeta fight Broly. Like, having that kind of an outcome in the Broly, you know, fight would have been a lot more epic than what we saw here. It just, you know, mathematically and logically, it just doesn't make sense for Broly to get defeated the way he did in both of these movies. Now, again, we saw also what happens in the Bio Broly. The Bio Broly movie was just as bad. It just, I mean, you could say maybe that Broly wasn't as powerful since it was a clone, but still at the same time, like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It just makes no sense to me, and that's why I kind of want to make this video. Ooh, excuse me. So I kind of want to make this video to see what your thoughts are overall with Broly. Do you think, you know, he should have lost the fight the way he did? Did Goku and his team basically have enough power to channel enough energy to punch Broly to a point where it explodes? Like, let me know your thoughts. I'm just, you know, I can't sleep right now. I can't sleep, and I could not sleep ever since I was a kid. When I first see the Broly movie, it just always bugged me, and that's the reason why I was never a big fan of Broly. Now, again, the best way they could have introduced Broly into the series, or I guess into the universe, since it's not really canon, is through a movie that happened after the Dragon Ball Z timeline story ended. So somewhere around Fusion Reborn would have made a lot more sense. But like, the fact that they introduced him right before the Cell games, where they were nowhere near as powerful as what Broly was. Technically, Broly should have blasted him once with the Mega Blaster, or even punched him once and could have been able to knock them out. And the fact that he didn't, it just didn't make sense to me. Now, if you want, you know, if we want to go back and just maybe say this power level 1.4 billion is bullshit, that probably would make more sense. But the fact that, you know, I believe it was Daizenshu, wow, tongue twister. I believe it was Daizenshu that revealed his power level along with Gogeta a while ago, and they said it was 1.4 billion. If we were to scale that power level down to somewhere maybe around 700 million, it would kind of make more sense because it's a little bit closer to Cell, probably not as strong as Cell, but then at the same time, I still feel like Broly should be a lot more powerful than Cell. So it's kind of tough, like, this is a really tough situation, you know, to scale out. Like, this is my big problem with all the movies. As we all know, I just want to also say this because I've been seeing this a lot in the past week. The only movie that's canon is actually Battle of Gods. That's because Toriyama himself said it was canon, number one, and two, he wrote it into the story where it fits canonly. Now, canonly, whatever the word is. As far as the other movies, there's always something that doesn't make sense, like the timelines where, you know, freaking, like, Broly's attacking during the Cell games. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. That's why, like, the way I always saw the movies in my head, in my brain, and this is the only way I can be satisfied, is the movies happen in an alternate Dragon Ball Z universe. That's the only way I can accept them. I mean, I still don't count them as canon, but if I was to add them in the timeline, I always look at them as an alternate Dragon Ball Z timeline type of thing, because that's the only thing that allows me to sleep at night. But other than that, the movies just they don't ever really fit in. They don't really fit in. But yeah, that's kind of like my quick thought that I want to throw out there, and I want to know your thoughts as well. Let me make sure I covered everything on this list. None in the power. Maybe it was I pretty much covered everything. I don't know. What are your thoughts? And the other thing also is, I know Kwamen did a video breaking down if Gohan was Super Saiyan 2 in this video. So go to Kwamen's channel and check that video out. I believe it should be out by now. If not, it'll be out sometime soon. But he actually breaks down how strong Gohan is in this actual fight. But even then, it still doesn't make sense that he had enough power to take on Broly along. Actually, you know what? That one might fit. That one might fit because I did a video one time. I don't know if it's the same power level breakdown video, but in one of my power level videos, I break down Broly's power level, and the Legendary Super Saiyan status is equivalent to a Super Saiyan 2 level, where in that case, it would make sense that Goku, Gohan, and Goten had enough power to overpower Broly and defeat him in the second movie. But that still doesn't make sense with the first movie. Like, that's the part that bothers me so much. Ugh, he shouldn't have lost. He should not have lost. And on top of that, let's not forget that freaking within 2 seconds, Goku somehow managed to instant transmission everybody that's left on that planet before it blows up into the space pod, and then move the space pod away as well. Like, there's just so many flaws in the movie that just bugs me overall. That it allows me to not sleep at night. I don't know. I've already kind of talked your brains out, so I just kind of want to read your comments at this point. So let me know your thoughts on the Legendary Super Saiyan known as Broly. Should he have won or lost the first movie fight and the second movie fight? Let me just know. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. and we'll just take it from there. And we're not even going to count the Bio Broly movie again, because I mean, that right there, you could just make an excuse and say that the fake one was nowhere near as strong as the real one. So we can just accept that as kind of the argument there. But as far as the first two movies, that's really what I want to know. I can accept that Gohan was Super Saiyan 2 in the second movie, which would closely give enough power. But then again, there's also the argument that at that point Broly's power should be even bigger, only because of the fact that he has that massive Zenkai boost after almost dying in the first movie. I don't know, my brain hurts. At this point, I just want to see what you guys think. So go ahead and leave all the comments in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. And yeah. Anyways, guys, my name is Rhymestyle. If you enjoyed this quick discussion today, make sure you punch that like button right in the face. And I will see all you awesome Super Saiyans in the comment section below. Yeah, cool. All right, cool. See you guys below. Bye.